Oh, welcome along to SSBW. Well, that guy's gone. Let's go, chicken. Bringing you home, soldier. Look at he's nodding. He's just like, heck yeah, dude. He's just like, where are we headed to? Oh no, we're going way too far off in the ocean.
Yeah, you are.
Oh god.
Like a little carrot.
Oh, here we are, folks.
Don't let him out yet. We need to catch him.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode by Brennan World, and today we are doing another Minecraft video, and no, it is not a title update video, because if you watched the last title update video, it was actually pretty much the last one, because, if you if you don't know yet, console, pretty much Minecraft overall is just, like, done. Like, what it is now is what it is forever. Like, that it's been confirmed that there's supposed to be no more updates coming to console editions, and then I don't know if there's any more coming to computer. So pretty much what I showed on the last console title update video is what we have now. So basically what I'm doing today is I'm showing our survival world, because if you remember from a very long time ago here on Brennan World, our best creative world, which is probably still our best creative world, was the big city with my actual working elevator, and just it was huge and everything, that city. And then our best survival world was the big city too. Well, this is our new survival world that we've been working on for a few months now, and it actually, since the Xbox does its nice little deleting stuff and has deleted so many stuff, or so many things, it deleted this world that I'm on right now, but we were lucky and actually got this world back, which we have never got anything back from like Terraria or Minecraft ever before, which really sucks. But I've tried everything over the past couple years, and I gave up on it almost a year ago now, officially. So basically, pretty much on this world, I actually never fly. I am only flying just for this. Whoops. I'm just flying pretty much for this video, just so I can get around faster to show you guys everything. But basically, I'm just doing a little showcase of our new best survival world, and I would say that this world is probably even better than the big city too. So this creeper's been waiting for me to kill him here in my background. But yeah, so basically, I never fly again. I'm only doing it for this video, but that's about all. So yeah, so I'm just basically going to show everything on this world. So this world is owned by Brayton. I usually own all the worlds on Minecraft and used to be Terraria and everything back in the day. But now this world's owned by Brayton, and eventually I just decided to join. So I will start off with probably the first thing that was built on this world, which is Brayton's house. So you can see it is a very funky looking house, but it's pretty darn tall and pretty big for survival. So it's very confusing, so I'll try showing what I can, but you can see it's built out of spruce wood, oak, cobblestone, all that stuff. Whoops, forgot I was on survival. So down there you can see into his basement a little bit, and then he's got flowers right there, and then this is where his farm starts. He's got some potatoes growing right there, a little water slide looking thing, an infinite water hole just randomly sitting there. And I would have Brayton playing with me right now, just my mom, dad, and Brayton went shopping for some stuff, and I'm just by myself right now, so I decided to film this video right now while I could. Yeah, so this is his farm, this is his wheat farm, and it's surrounded by his sugarcane farm. Then he's got his pumpkins growing right there, and these look like they are more potatoes. Those are carrots over there, and I don't know what was in there, and then this is a cow. So yeah, so then he's got some cocoa beans growing right there, and that's all surrounded in cobblestone wall. So other than that, he's got this little tunnel right there, which is basically to get up to, I believe this goes up to his pool, which that is a cow right there. I don't know, that's just a hole. So basically you just open that door, and then he has this weird little staircase thing. It's pretty darn small and confusing in here. But he doesn't usually live here anymore. He has multiple houses. So this is his main, I don't know if this is his main bedroom or his main bedroom, but I kind of like how he did the windows in here. Kind of nice when you don't usually use glass pane. You can see it's kind of like a little tree house, so that's another way to get in. I'm not going to go down there and show you guys, but it's just a ladder coming into up here, and he's got crafting tables galore everywhere. And then if you go up here, basically it is just this little thing that goes up, and then basically he has chests, and then down this ladder, what does he have down here? Oh yeah, so basically down this ladder is this room, which basically doesn't have anything in it. And down even farther, he has this little room, which is also pretty much empty, but then over here he has a zombie. Yeah, so basically he just has some stuff down there. I think all of his chests are empty, but then there's another bed right there, a random door. And then right here is his main entrance to his pool, which you can see is just this huge place that took him forever to build because it's pretty deep in some parts. And he has a little waterfall right there and right there. A little, I'm guessing that's supposed to be like a hot tub. And you can see this is already a 2 deep pool right there. But then right here it gets very deep. And I have kind of bad experiences with pools on survival. Because on one of our first ever survival worlds, I had this horrible house that was pretty much just built into a hill. And I had this little tiny pool downstairs, and of course it was so small I could not get out, and I just drowned, and there was nothing I could do. And that was back when I used to like rage quit on games, and I was just like, what the heck? So yeah, so basically that is all for that part. So then going back down here, there's this little tunnel going over here. What's down here? I believe this is another, okay, so it looks right here, that's basically just an entrance to his backyard, and then that is literally a door to absolutely nothing. So yeah, so as you can see, it's kind of like the Manchester house a little bit, but then right here, he has this little wool place, which his little chicken coop is right there, where he keeps his chickens, and then right through here, he has a staircase, which this goes down to this room, which down here is his basement that I showed you guys the window for earlier, which is very, very small. It's just that, but then if you go over here, it's a little bit bigger. And then just keeps on going down there, and down there is a little kind of like mine shaft type place. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for that, and he did his little floor like that. But then there's just chests everywhere, so going back up pretty much just is another entrance to outside. So then he has this little tunnel, which is like kind of fence. That is also another room where he can keep some stuff. I don't know what he used to keep there. It looks like animals or something. And then up here is his room, which I don't really know. He has some sort of redstone and stuff, but I can't remember. I believe it was some sort of door, but it doesn't seem to be there anymore. But then basically this goes up to this room where he just keeps basically all of his armor, and just pretty much this is like the main room of his house. And then if you go to the very top of his house, I think he like pretty much just accidentally did this, but he pretty much turned it into a real thing. But it is basically just pretty much a diving board into his pool that I showed you guys, and then that is back out to his house, the outside. So that's pretty much it for his house. But yeah, so I'm not gonna go all the way up to his like diving board place, but basically there is a way where you can climb all the way up to the top up there, and then jump all the way off into his pool, which that is the outside entrance to that. But that is basically it for his house. So yeah, so that is his house and his farm over there. But then now onto my house, which you can see this tunnel right there. Me and Brayton built that a while ago so we could connect our houses. But basically just a quick little overview of the outside of my house. Like I usually do, I build my house and then I connect a ranch, because a ranch is a farm and animals, or I mean like crops and animals, so that's my ranch. And then that's my house, so I will show that. I will start on the inside first. But yeah, so basically I surrounded my ranch all in cobblestone wall. But starting inside, I have this nice little staircase with these, I believe, lilacs going up. This is actually Brayton's horse. For some reason he just keeps him in my ranch. I don't really know why, but he found iron armor, which he originally gave to me, but took it back once he got his horse. And we managed to find 2 saddles. Not 2 horse armors yet, but 2 saddles. So that's his horse right there, which he pretty much just wanders around my place, my ranch. But entering into my house, I will show this room first, because this was my first night here. I actually built this room. It used to just be like a little oak wood box that I slept in for my first few nights while I was building my house. So basically I kept my room and spiffied it up once I got better materials and put a window all the way around like this. And then basically my classic little garbage, which is basically just a cactus with some extra room down there that you open that up and throw anything you don't want into there. My crafting table in the floor to save room. This is my food chest with all my food, which you can pause if you really want to see that. So yeah, so definitely very stocked up on food. I'm pretty much always collecting food and growing food and all that. So then basically I got these 2 furnaces right here, which both have 64 birchwood planks for fuel, where I cook a lot of my stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that room right there. So then this is basically all oak right here, and this is my favorite survival house I've ever built, just because I really love how nice it looks for survival, but also like the contrast in woods. Like I love how this main room is birch and oak, and then you'll see some other rooms are different woods mixed. And then of course this is the tunnel to Brayton's house, which is kind of sloppy, and there's animals, or I mean goons spawning in here all the time, but basically that enters into that room. So yeah, so pretty sloppy little tunnel, but Brayton built most of it. I just built that main part while I was building another room in my house. But then going into here, you can see this is my crafting and storage room, which this is one of my favorite rooms in my house. You can see there's this little hallway which has two little windows on both sides. And then on my two newest chests are in here. Basically, these are all the rest of my things, because my food is in that chest in my kitchen. But this is all the rest of my stuff. So you can see this. I just put what's in the chest and then the arrow pointing down. So this is glass. So that's basically all my glass pane, glass blocks, all my stained glass pane, all that stuff. So that's all my glass. These are all of my dyes, which you can see on that sign there. So that's all my dyes, and I also put my bone meal in there, just because that can be used to grow stuff faster, but also can be used to dye stuff white. So yeah, a lot of dye. And then for here, I just use not birchwood planks, but I just put 5 little pieces of just birchwood logs, just for a nice little decoration in the floor. That looks pretty nice. And to save room, of course, I do what I usually do and put all my chests in the ground. And then valuables, of course, this is all the stuff that I get, like mining and from the nether and whatnot. So I got 2 enchantment books in there, all of my iron, redstone. I did have some diamonds in here. We found a lot of diamonds, enough to make me a diamond pickaxe and sword. Brayton, that's where the rest of my diamonds went. He's currently trying to make his diamond armor. And he doesn't have full armor yet, but he's getting to it. We just need to find some more diamonds. So currently I do not have any diamonds left in there, but that is where they were right there. So then I have gold, lapis lazuli. I have found 2 music discs so far. I have chirp, and then upstairs my recording studio I believe it's music disc 13, it's the gold one. And then all my ender pearls, gunpowder. Gunpowder is not super rare, but it's somewhat hard to get a lot of. And then all my nether stuff and whatnot. So yeah, so that was my valuables chest. Over here is all my wooden planks. You can see I pretty much have quite a bit of every wood. I got acacia, jungle wood, tons of birch, because that's my favorite wood, my favorite thing to build out of on Minecraft. And then I got lots of oak, spruce. I actually got a lot of dark oak, but basically that's the last thing I did a couple days ago. Is just really went down and got tons, just went around in all of our forests, and got tons of these, because there's not a lot of natural trees on this world. A lot of them, they're just like little small forests, so we went to all those forests and basically just collected as much wood and saplings as we could. And over time we just built like a huge birch and oak forest like around behind my house back there, which I'll show you. And then a little farther away we built another birch thing, and then we have some jungles, and we're starting to get a lot more dark oak trees now. Especially dark oak, because it takes a little longer to grow, plus you need 4 saplings to grow it. So yeah, so that is all my wood, tons of wood there. These are my potions, not a ton, but those are basically all the potions I've made so far. Over here, this is my random, just stuff that I might need at some point that I use, and just basically extra stuff. So you can just see all the stuff in there, which I'm not going to go over that. You can pause it if you really want to see all that for some reason. I don't go fishing much. I got one of my puffer fish in there, and I have some cooked fish in my food chest, but then I basically just have some extra stuff in there. So yeah, so that's my 2 random chests. And then over here I got tools slash weapons, which is basically my extra tools. I got my diamond sword and pickaxe, which my diamond sword has on breaking 3 and bane of arthropods 5, and diamond pickaxe efficiency 1. And then basically all of my arrows, my bow, my 9 leads, my fishing rod, my shears, all my extra swords, and my 5 extra buckets, because in my food chest I have 3, but right here I have 5. And then, yeah, so that's basically it for all my chests. But then over here, of course, I just have my brewing stand, which, to give it a better look with those little red bottles, I always keep 3 glass bottles on that. And blaze powder right there, because that's what you need to start making some potions. And then I have my anvil, which is starting to break here, as you can see, but I don't use that too much. And I got another crafting table, our one and only so far enchantment table right there, and then another furnace. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for this room. And then of course I got some more windows right there, and right there, and right there. So then basically I will go on to that hallway pretty soon, or actually I'll go through it right now. So basically I built this a little bit ago. It's basically just a birch hallway with some oak stairs that basically my house is pretty darn big, so it basically is like a little shortcut to get through my house a little faster, just so it's a little faster to get through my house, but I'll show that room a little bit later. But going on right now to my next room is up this nice little staircase right here to the second floor. This is my bedroom. You can see it is pretty darn big in here. This is probably my favorite decoration thing I have ever built on survival. You can see when you're just looking at it like head on how nice that looks. Basically I just put oak planks around there and then raised the roof a little bit more right there with some oak mixed with birch and everything. And basically for my roof on my, all over my pretty much my whole house I used oak planks for the roof. Yeah, so then right here I just have all of these swords are enchanted, and then that's my diamond armor, which all of the pieces of it are all enchanted. So that's my diamond armor right there on top of that little stone slab right there. And these are on armor stands, of course. And I got my enchanted gold sword, diamond sword, iron sword. I don't know what's going on right now. Iron sword and stone sword. And then I got my black dyed leather armor right there, iron armor right there, and gold armor right there. And then I got 2 banners, which if you actually saw outside, I'm gonna set the time to day so I don't get killed, and it sounds like someone's getting killed outside. So yeah, so basically outside, if you didn't see this, banners came in a recent title update. And basically, that's my favorite banner I've ever made. We were experimenting with banners and dyes one day, and I made this, which basically is like my top 4 favorite colors, like cyan, purple, like magenta, lime green, and red. And then I just put white with a black dot in the middle, or black circle in the middle, for just to go up above my door to make it look a little nicer. And then here inside I have 2 more banners, which is basically cyan with purple corners on those 2 sides with another black circle in the middle on that side and that side. So yeah, so overall this is probably my favorite decoration I've ever made on survival, and if not in Minecraft of all time. This is kind of like my little chandelier, if you want to call it that. This is probably one of the biggest windows in my room, which basically has an overview of a little bit of my ranch, and then our nether portal, and then Brayton's little flower farm, and that is our one of our little forests over there. So yeah, it's a big window right there. This is my carpet, which is basically, of course, just cyan carpet right in the middle of the room, and then I'll show that room in a second. But then I got my one and only jukebox right there. Another little bookcase with my rose right there, or now they're called, I can't remember, poppies or something like that. And then I have my, I believe this is still our only cake. We could make tons more, but for some reason this is still like our only one right here, which I never eat. It's just for decoration pretty much, and I just keep it on this little oak wood log. And then this is my bed right there, crafting table right there, and then my clock hanging on the wall right there. So yeah, so that was pretty much it for my main bedroom right there. So pretty darn big. But through here, we actually, this is one of the most recent things that we built. But through this first door, there's actually this glass tunnel to this glass dome shaped thing, which is actually mine and Brayton's little jungle biome that we keep our pet parrots in. So yeah, so we actually captured all these parrots because we were not getting any parrots in our jungles, but we finally found some, and we've just been one by one kind of bringing them in here. And we actually got at least one parrot of each color, but we actually got a couple of some colors. So basically it's just this glass dome that Brayton and I built, and then we put this little jungle tree in here that I just built myself, and then we put vines, and then Brayton put some jungle leaves all over the place, and I put this little pool of water right there. So yeah, so you can just see the parrots. There's a green one right there. So then right here is a ladder to the limit. This took me quite a ton of wood to build and a ton of time to build, but basically it's just this ladder that you climb up forever, and I will fly in just a second to speed it up. But basically every once in a while I'll just put a little window thing right there to show some like some outside and to put a torch. But I did that every once in a while going up. But yeah, so this literally takes you about like 3 or 4 minutes to climb up, so I'm just gonna fly up to save tons of time. And yeah, but this was pretty darn scary to build. I did die a few times falling all the way down. But yeah, so as you can see, it is all the way up to the building limit. So basically it's just a little lookout area. So here we are at the top, and basically I just built this big platform out of glass, and then put oak fence around it, and basically you can barely see it, but you can just look down on our city from there. So yeah, so I'm just gonna fly down from there, because basically once you're done, you basically just go back down there. But yeah, so going back down, hopefully I'll be able to catch myself. But yeah, so going back down here, that is pretty much all for that. So it's pretty much not too useful, but I just thought I would build it when I was bored one day. So yeah, so I built that, and then through this little hallway, which is pretty darn tall for how skinny of a hallway it is, I do understand. I have this little window which looks into my room over there, and you can kind of see over there. And then another little window right there, another window right there, another bigger one right there, and one right there. And I'll show what's down that staircase in a second. Right here is basically just like a little waiting room or living room type place, which is basically pretty empty, but it's just this nice little room. And then over here I got this nice little couch going around the corner with a little footrest. And then through here is a pretty much useless place, but me and Brayton, Brayton and I just built it one day. So yeah, so it's basically called BW's Recording Studio. For like Brennan Wood, I just put like BW2, I just put BW's Recording Studio. So basically through here we have this place, which we put 2 more banners right there, and then we just put these for cool little decorations, some slabs right there. This is cool, just cool little like vase type thing. And then I got my computer right here with a little button, and then that's the other record I was talking about a little bit later, which has the gold middle, so we call it like our golden record. And then right here is a little gate, which why would we have that, you may be asking? Well, basically, if you hold it down, it kind of makes a little beat. So yeah, so we basically just have that to mess around and make a beat while we just freestyle rap here sometimes. And then we basically used a whole bunch of trapdoors to make it kind of look like the insulation stuff to condense the sound and everything. And then we got a window right there, a window right there. And that's it for this room. So, and then this is supposed to be like our little mic right there. So you basically just stand right here while someone records you, and then while they're recording you, they can flip that and make a little beat. And then that's my little desk right there. So then through this room behind these banners is basically this room where we edit the sound and all of that stuff. So this is my only room to have like different colored glass, which we use red glass pane all the way around here, so you can see the nice little view all the way around. And then right here we have this cool looking desk with some black stained glass with a little button and a pressure plate right there, the stone slabs, and then this little thing to make it look like it's connected to the wall, with this little chair right there. And then all of these things around here are pretty much like a lot of the circle objects in the game to kind of look like different records. So we have like a cookie, a little magma cube or magma ball or whatever, the magma cream, and then like a clay ball, slime ball, or actually I believe that's a clay ball. Oh yeah, that's a snowball, that's a clay ball. So yeah, so and then all that, and then we just have a little lever right there. So yeah, it's pretty much useless, but I don't know, it's kind of fun and a cool little, this is kind of a cool little area of my house. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. So then down this staircase of my house is, this is the guest bedroom, which basically has a little window right there with another flower in a pot on top of a bookshelf and a bed for the guests to sleep. And then that's the window right there, and this is the room that I was talking about earlier, which basically leads into that room. So yeah, so then this right here is actually just a little my back door to go to my backyard basically, and just has a nice little staircase right there. So nothing much to that. But yeah, so then my last room of my house has this really nice entrance, which I really like. It's just doors and then oak wood slabs with a little space up there. And you go in there and you can see this contrast that I was talking about earlier. Not only do I have the oak slab roof, but I have the birch wood planks like usual, but now I use this wood, which is a little more rare. It's not spruce, it's actually dark oak, and this is the only place in my house to use our dark oak so far. And then I have a little corner window right there, a window right there, and a window right there. And basically it leads into this room here, which has these nice little corner things, which are kind of like little shelves for cool little decorations. And yeah, so I just have that in that corner and in that corner, and then I have this window right here, this big window right here, one of my biggest windows in my house, which basically is the nicest view of Brayton's flower farm right there. And I really love that contrast right there. And then I just found this cauldron underground while I was mining, so I just decided to put it in this room since it's a pretty empty room. So I don't really know what this room is. I just built it to add on to my house, but yeah, it's probably one of my nicest looking rooms in my house. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for my house. So basically going outside now, to show a few outside things. Basically right here is a little chicken that Brayton just randomly put right there. And then right here you may be wondering what all these floating blocks are. Well, basically it is a parkour thing. You can see we put hay just in case if we fail jumping up there, it will absorb some of the fall. And it says dank parkour, and then it says no crouching. So yeah, so basically it's a slime block thing, which you have to run like straight onto it, but then it bounces you up, and you're supposed to land on this block, and then no crouching, and basically it's just a huge parkour thing, which is a pretty big parkour place, so I'm not going to go all the way through it, but I will show it to you after I set it today real quick. But yeah, so basically it goes through our whole city so far. So as of right here, it's just a regular birchwood planks blocks. And then we actually did put little objectives to save your spot if you fail on one point, that you can just swim back up and go up. But yeah, so you can see all the way up to here, it is just all birchwood. This is our first little place, which looks like one of Brayton's dogs is at. And this is our first checkpoint, which basically, once you get to the checkpoints, you can flip the switch and then it pours down the water. So then if you fail, you can just swim back up the water and start from where you left off. And then right here you jump onto this and have to walk across this very skinny little passage of iron bars, and you go up here, another checkpoint. And once you get right here, you actually have to eject that piston right there to get it right here, which is really hard right here. And basically it's just a cobblestone wall, and you basically have to hop across each one of these little pegs. And then once you get to that last one, you jump onto this wall right here, which is a ladder wall, which basically you just go on these ladders because you can actually stand on them on the side, and you basically just have to go like that and get across them, and then jump onto that one. And then once you do that, you jump into this hole right here, which is basically another one to launch you onto that block. This part's really hard, and sometimes if you fail, it kind of kills you. So yeah, so basically you jump up there, and then you basically keep on going from there. So yeah, so that's a pretty cool little tube thing I made. And then back onto just the birchwood planks again. And then once you just basically, it's just like an even staircase, and you just have to keep on hopping and going. And then you turn, go onto this corner, turn one last time, and then finally after all that you reach the final thing, which has a checkered platform right there. And then you jump on down into Devil's Lake right here, which is what we named it, which I will show a little bit later. So yeah, so that is that. But now basically going on to my backyard, like as promised. First off, I was going to show the outside of our little parrot place. Oh, there's the cyan parrots right there. Oh yeah, and there's a red one. So most of them are usually on top of that tree. But basically that's how it looks from the outside. That's the glass hall that I went through. So that's how it looks from the outside. So not too irregular looking, and pretty nice looking actually. And I would say it's kind of more nice to observe from the outside and not worry about having any parrots escaping. But this is my wheat farm right here, not as big as Brayton's, but this is my main little wheat farm right there, which is basically just has a little leap pad, or not leap pad, a little I cannot remember what these are called right now, but one of those, and basically you can go around and harvest wheat. And then over here I got my sugar canes right there. Right here I got my 2 cows for milk and whatnot. So that's just my 2 cows. Right here I got my little cocoa bean farm. And then over here I got my carrot farm mixed with my potato farm. So that side is of course carrots, and that side is my potatoes, which yeah, it's a nice little place there. And then over here I got my sheep, which I just have 3 sheep there for wool and all that stuff. And then in this kind of like the parrot thing, so they don't escape, I have this little outside thing, and then the door, which yeah, I have 4 chickens, and you can just see all the eggs. Holy cow, I got 8 eggs from them. So yeah, so they don't usually escape, but yeah, that's my little chicken coop. And then right here is my cactus farm for green dye, cactus, whatever, or cactus green dye. So that's my little cactus farm right here. These are little just support things to make my house look more physical, or like it's obeying the laws of physics. This is my netherwort farm. These are my 2 modes of transportation. I actually recently got this guy. I haven't found another name tag, so he's not currently named, but I did find 1 name tag, so I named my white horse right here, and his name is Not a Chicken. And I used to ride on him all the time, but I moved my saddle onto my donkey, because while he is not as fast as a horse, he's just a little bit slower. But the good thing about donkeys is, of course, you can put a chest on them and have extra storage. and they also look a little more cool in my opinion, except for when the horses have like diamond armor, especially white horses, which are my favorite horses in the game. But yeah, so then basically they're both just have leads tethered onto my netherwart fence right there. And so yeah, so when I'm going far away or whatever, I just ride on one of them. And then I just have this little hay block there just to make it look like they're eating or whatever. There's Brayton's horse again, some more support beams. And then over here I have my last farm here, which is my pumpkin farm. And all of them are grown since they grow pretty darn fast. And that's just all my pumpkins. And that is pretty much it for my farms. Yeah, so basically that forest I was talking about, so that's pretty much it for my house. That is everything about my house. So pretty darn big. So just another you saw it from the front, but this is a little view from the back, so you can see where my cool little armor display thing is from the outside. I actually made it look pretty darn nice right there with the little dome. And then yeah, that's the like recording studio stuff and everything. And I forgot to show this, but if you saw that light on the inside of my actual recording studio, not the, like the sound editing place or whatever, I actually have this, so the light is off during the day, but it turns on during the night. And I believe that's my only daylight censored house or light in my house, and that's that from that view. So pretty weird shaped house, but pretty darn cool house. And then, as seen quite a few times already, this is Brayton's flower farm, which basically just puts all of his flowers that he finds right there. And this is, like I was talking about, one of our artificial man-made forests that we planted the trees in. And Brayton put like every type of wood log right there. And then we just put random stairs over there for some reason. And then way back here is actually where we fought the Wither, because after tons of time in the nether getting Wither skulls, we finally fought the Wither. And we fought him in this room right here. There's our nether portal, which we built a while ago, and Brayton built this nice little encasing like he did on the big city too, but I think this one looks nicer. And that's it from the back. And then from the front, it just looks like that. It's built out of course, materials from the nether. And then, of course, that is our, from the inside, that's our nether portal. And what's kind of nice is you actually spawn inside of the one of the nether temples, which is kind of nice, or whatever they're called, I can't really remember. Yeah, so you can see that there, and this basically was pretty nice when we went hunting for all the withers. And to get to the main part of the nether where all the ghasts are and everything, you basically just walk down this hallway, and that's why this little passageway of torches is here. And you basically drop down there and go down there. So then the next thing over here is the Times Square, so, or we call it the Times Square. So yeah, so basically, of course, since we fought the Wither Skeleton, we got a Nether Star, and after, we had to go mining after this, and after we built this, minecart rail, which I will show in a second, just because this took so much iron, but we usually are pretty good on iron. But this is our beacon. We, we have a haste, which is, or speed, I believe, yeah, speed, so that's why, if you saw it, it kind of zoomed in and out, that was just me when I kind of get out of its, kind of its place. You can see the little corner, or the screen thing in the corner of my, or the little speed thing in the corner of my screen, saying that I have speed. And, yeah, so basically, as long as you're within range, you have speed, which towards the back of my house, it kind of drops off, so, but yeah, so at the time that we built this, it was pretty much in the corner. At the time that we built this, it was pretty much in the center of the place, our city. But I basically just built this big old birchwood planks platform around it with these stairs, and yeah, basically that's just our beacon, which we've had for quite a while now. And then the one last part of my house I forgot to show at. This used to be all hills, and I had to flatten it out because it was so annoying. And then I did all this. It took so many shovels to make this look all nice like this, but it used to be horrible looking. But anyway, this is my little pool. It's pretty much my little pool that I build a lot, and then these are my only other daylight censored lights that I have. There's just 4, one on each corner. My little diving board right there, and then this little entrance right there with the pool right there, which only gets 2 deep. So just a small little pool in my front yard. Yeah, so that is that. So then right here we have this, or actually I'll show this first. So this is our fountain right here, which also has daylight censored lights on it. Which basically is just a nice little fountain that I built. So I guess before I leave the main part of the city, I'll show the rest of it over here. So basically this is where most of our like spruce trees and everything are over here. And then going over here that we have the snowy forest behind Brayton's house, and somewhere across this somewhere, Brayton actually has this. He built this. I don't really know what it's for, but it's just this little room right there, which is kind of random. It's basically just a little sleeping hut in the middle of this forest here. But basically, way back far somewhere, there's this icy lake, and then, oh, here it is. Yeah, this icy lake, and right in front of it with this nice little view, Brayton has this little cabin that he built a couple days ago. So yeah, so pretty simple, not too much windows, so it's kind of isolating, but yeah, has this nice little staircase that goes up into it, and he has this bed on top of a platform here to show the rest of our city. Going way down over here, we actually built a little tree fortress type place. This is my treehouse, so you can see we just waited until we got like some big oak trees, and then me and Brayton built our tree houses in. So you can see that's my tree house from the outside, and then we built a bridge which also is carried by that tree, and I built this bridge all the way over to Brayton's over there, which I'll show in a second. But basically there's just the, the cobblestone path going all the way through, goes down to here, which you basically just climb up this ladder, and then go into my tree house, which is pretty much simple. It just has some windows here and there, and this really nice little cozy interior. For my tree house, pretty simple, not much to it. But then you go across this big old bridge, and eventually once you get all the way across it, then it's a nice little entrance to Brayton's tree house over here, which is a lot more treehouse looking. You can see this room is pretty much just tree, and then up here it is literally just built out of leaves. So yeah, so it's a little more messy, but at the same time it's a little more legit treehouse. So then basically that's the entrance straight into his treehouse. So yeah, so then basically the last thing that I need to show over here, before we go out of our city pretty much, is this little stone passageway, which I, along the way you can see that I actually did build little wooden oakwood fence little supports to make it look a little more obeying the laws of physics. So yeah, so basically you just go down this stone path, and it just basically goes along with some stairs that I actually just kept on building out of cobblestone right there. And this basically leads to our nice little fishing dock that you can fish in Devil's Lake with. So yeah, it's a pretty simple little place, but cool little place. And then Brayton has a secret area in this little pond right here, which you basically go into there and then into here. And once you get into there, you can surface, and then there's a secret room, which I have no idea how that cow got down there. And then basically once you get down there, it's this whole underground place. I don't even know when Brayton built this, but you basically just go down this long tunnel, and eventually once you reach the end, you can go up this staircase, and then there's this extra little room right here, and then you open this right there, and then now you are actually in Devil's Lake, and then you can see now I'm in the center of Devil's Lake. But then we have another treehouse right here, which this is Brayton's. It's not even really a treehouse, it's more just a little lookout place at the top of this big old oak tree. And then down here he has this little mine shaft, which we used to go mining in until we pretty much got everything out of it that we needed. But then that's pretty much it for the main part of our city. So going on to the pretty much one of the last parts of the place, this is what I was talking about earlier. Oh, there goes my sword, like I was talking about. But yeah, so pretty much this was what I was talking about. It took so much iron. I did have some rail that I got from like when I was breaking down like natural mines underground, and then we had to make the mine cart, and then of course you can just push forward and cheat and pretty much just go in the mine cart ever since an update a while ago. But just so we would look a little better, I did put some powered rail along the way. But basically we built this place over there, which is actually the last thing we have built currently on this world, and you go over there. But first I do want to show this one last little area, which I believe is somewhere over here, which me and Brayton kind of forgot about because I went mining and we kind of just left it. But we were going to have this little camp, and Brayton calls these horse holes, where we basically, if we don't have fence on us, we put our horses in there. Of course I brought a piece of fence, which it looks like I left here at some point. Yeah, basically we just kept that there, and yeah, so, but basically we just built this little tent, which just has a chest with, you just get in the minecart, push the button like good old days, and then you basically just go on this minecart system that I built, and you get hurt right there when you go under my bridge. But it's just this nice little thing. You go through Devil's Lake right here, And yeah, you basically go through the swamp right there, and then go through here up the hill, and here comes our stop right here. Yeah, so basically that's where you stop. You just get out there, so then when you want to go back to the city, you basically just get in there and go back to the city. But this is our main building. This took us quite a while to build. It took us, I don't exactly know how long, but quite a while. This is Brayton's horse hole, but my first donkey actually died because he glitched out and got stuck in the wall, and then Brayton's horse died, so he had to get a new horse, so he finally built a bigger horse hole. This forest right here is so far our last man-made forest that we made. It's all birch, because this is like probably our yeah, this is pretty much our biggest thing we have ever built on survival. Brayton and I built it about 2 days ago. It took us forever. We had to make a whole another, like our third or fourth man-made forest, which pretty much all these birch trees you can see around here, none of these were really here. It's pretty much just this plains area. And so yeah, so pretty much while Brayton was building, I was just going around chopping down trees and replanting them non-stop. And so yeah, so Brayton built pretty much all this while I was doing that. But yeah, so you can see it's just this giant birch box all around here, which this was actually pretty annoying to build, because not only can you see that we had to build it kind of like on the side of a hill here, but as you can see under there, but not only that, you can see it's a desert mixed with plains, so we actually had to dig out all of the sand, and then I had to patch up all the holes, and then along with that sand, I had to patch all that up with grass. So not only did I have to go through many shovels getting rid of all the sand and extra grass and stuff, but then I had to get tons of extra dirt to replant, or to get all the dirt blocks back. But yeah, so basically towards the top, so that was pretty annoying, but here towards the top we used acacia just for a little bit of a contrast in the wood. We put stairs around the edge for this nice little roof place, which is just, of course, acacia wood around there. And then this was the other annoying part. I just have extra glass because I went around to refill my glass chest a little bit, but this took pretty much all the glass I had. It took like 5 stacks of glass. So that's another part with shovels and smelting and stuff, and also wood to smelt it. I had to go through tons of shovels and smelting wood and all that to build this glass roof. Because basically what this is a giant greenhouse slash ranch type place. Of course, me and Brayton already have one, but this is our like main place. It's like Brayton's one of his favorite places on this world. But yeah, so you can see it from there, and it is absolutely huge. Again, biggest thing we've ever built on survival so far. But yeah, so basically we just have these acacia doors, which you come into here, and then there's this nice little staircase built out of sandstone stairs. So just a little entrance into here, and then in all of the little corners, in the corners at the top and bottom, we have glowstone, so pretty darn rare right there. We had to go back to the glowstone place or the nether to get some more glowstone. And then basically we put stairs on the bottom right there, the birchwood stairs, to look like it's kind of holding up the lights, and then on the top, we put it on the top to look like it's hanging. So we did that on the top and bottom right there, in the middle right there, and down there. Same with right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, and right there. So yeah, so we pretty much did it 3 times on each wall. So yeah, so now on to the rest of this greenhouse area. Okay, so sorry about that. I had to switch over batteries real quick. Yeah, so this is the inside of the greenhouse. Looks very cool. We were just going to do this part, but then I had plans to add some animals, so we put a little second floor loft area right there. And this is basically almost I believe every plant in the game, even beetroot, the newest one. Yeah, so over here we have beetroots, which I actually put a sign for each plant, so everybody can tell what it is. So of course there's a sign for the beetroot, and then along with the sign on each plant, I also put a chest next to the sign, which basically is just for like when people harvest the plants. If they're not, they can keep whatever they want from here, but whatever they don't keep, or if they don't keep anything that they harvest, they just put it in these chests, so there's just all the extra seeds in the plant itself. And then we have an infinite water hole, which is basically just from when we were building this thing for all the water for all the plants and everything, but who knows, we might need it again. And then a crafting table right there. So yeah, so that is our little beetroot farm. And then over here we have our little wheat farm right there, which you can see back here. Of course, we have the sign for that and the chest, which has 2 like that. So it's not insanely convenient, which there's actually a seed broken right there. I'll just do it right now, so there we go. So yeah, I don't know why that was unplanted, but here is our potato farm. Of course, I believe these are the biggest potato and carrot farms on this world out of mine and Brayton's at our houses. But the sign in the chest right there for potatoes, and then right here we have our carrots. The sign in the chest for those is right there. So yeah, so that is that, and I just fell into the water. So yeah, so as our carrot and potato farm, over here we have our watermelon farm, our only one on this world. And then basically we put that extra thing in front of this sign just so watermelon doesn't grow right there. And then back here we have I believe the biggest cocoa bean farm on this world. So there's the sign. It's just right in the middle of these two right here, and there's a sign with the cocoa beans and just all the extra cocoa beans. And when you harvest them, it gives you a ton, of course, so very good on those. And I also have tons of cookies at my house already. And then jack-o'-lantern or pumpkin farm, pretty much the same exact thing as the watermelon farm, but I believe the watermelon farm is a tad bit bigger. Our last farm over here, which is pretty much takes up this whole corner that Brayton built. I believe he said he came up with this idea by himself, but you can see all this redstone right here. And this used to all just be dirt, but I fixed it up and made it all birchwood. And then so I could put the sign, I put a little birchwood little wall plate type thing around this, which is where you collect the sugar cane. And of course this is our sugar cane farm. So we're not growing cactus in here, but we have huge cactuses farms at mine and Brayton's house. So that's like the only plant we're not growing here, I believe. And of course not trees or anything, not orchards or anything. But yeah, so there's the sign for that one. And then this chest, the chest for this plant is actually where it collects. I don't know why there's sugar in here. But yeah, so there should just be sugar cane in here. I guess we can put sugar in here if we want to. But basically that's just a sugar, and this is a just fully automatic. You don't even have to worry about harvesting this one. It harvests it all for you. So it's a little design that Brayton did. So basically behind here for the function, you can see our sugar cane growing here, and you can see that there's actually pistons behind there with an observer block, and then flowing water that flows down there. And basically once it gets to a certain point, it enters a hopper, which you can probably barely see, but there's a hopper under that water right there, which is connected to that chest. So once it goes into the hopper, it puts it into this chest, the sugar cane into that chest. So yeah, so basically how it works is basically this middle sugar cane, once it grows in front of that face looking thing on the observer block, it triggers the redstone, and basically all 5 of those pistons go off, and it basically breaks the sugar cane all the way down to just one. So yeah, all gonna always, oh, that one just grew right in front of me. So they're not always just gonna grow perfectly, but whenever this middle one does grow, it basically triggers all these pistons, and it completely goes. So I can show you guys this because I think it's pretty darn cool. But basically once this middle sugar cane grows in front of that, it goes like that, and then you can see that, and then it harvests all of it. And sometimes not all of it goes into there, which was 5, but then you basically throw it into the water and it flows down there, and then goes into the hopper and enters the chest right there, which you can see the sugar cane is growing right there. So yeah, so that's how it works. It goes off naturally, and then you can see once it harvests it, it is all back down to just 1, so it keeps on growing. And of course, because of course if it was on the base level, it would just completely destroy it and the sugar cane would not grow. So yeah, so that is that pretty cool thing. So this is all of our plants down here, but then this little loft area up here, for nice contrast, I built it. Okay, so the last thing real quick, sorry guys, Brayton just got here, so he's actually here now, but so yeah, so just up this little staircase. It's built out of dark oak, so we did have to get some more dark oak things, and all of our animals despawned, breeding animals up here, and we had like 4 chickens, 4 cows, and 4 sheep. I believe those were all the animals that we had up here, because those are pretty much the only like actual useful animals. But so none of them escaped down the staircase, we put this extra little fence around the staircase, and then on this edge, the edge of the loft here, we put this oak wood fence along there so you can watch over some of the crops. And then over here was the little collection chest where we would put extra eggs or milk or whatever. Real quick guys, there's this little island, there's these little island type thingies, and I don't know what happened, but there's some places on this earth where it's mainly just like on the edges of like islands and stuff, but it's just like completely flat wall. And then if you go along that wall underneath the ocean, there's just like random entrances to underwater caves. One random little tree in the middle of the ocean. Oh yeah, here's one of the walls. This is like the main big wall. So right next to the desert temple, as I was talking about, right in the middle of the ocean, there's just random, just flat wall. And then if you go down in there, every once in a while you can see there's like underwater caves and stuff. So yeah, here's Brayton's mountain place. So you can see this staircase right here, which he basically built out of cobblestone. And I'm not gonna walk all the way up there, but one of our horses almost died in here too. But basically, you go up into here, and then there's this little room right here with a crafting table and a furnace right there.
Pretty sure.
And then a little
It's just a
place.
compact house.
So then, basically, the last thing here in the acacia forest or the acacia savanna lands here, Brayton has another one of his horse holes here, and this is Brayton's little savanna house, which is built out of acacia wood. Which you basically just go up here to his door, and then this is his room with a big old wall window, some random stuff in a chest, and then through here you have this second room with an empty chest. So that's how that looks from the outside.
Profile.
Yeah, but so that is pretty much it for this video finally. So thank you guys so much for watching, if you're still watching, and yeah, but that's pretty much it for this episode for now, and we'll see y'all later. Bye. Kind of little natural mine that we found. It was a very good mine, and Brayton and I just kind of built walls and staircases, and yeah, we marked it with a big old cobblestone tower, and pretty cool little place.